Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. My dear friends, today this is about the solar eclipse that is happening on 17th of February 2026. In the first part of the video, I spoke about 9 global predictions and its impact on the world. I also shared some interesting insights with regards to this particular eclipse. You must watch that video. And here we are going to talk about how this is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs and the moon sign. This is one of the most detailed analysis that you will find. And here I'm going to give you an overview. What are the kind of endings that you can expect and the new beginnings in your life. Now, once again, on 17th of February, we have a partial solar eclipse. It is predominantly visible from Antarctica, some parts of South Africa, some parts of Southern American region. This is an exceptional eclipse. In this eclipse, all the planets are going to be involved. So regardless of your dasha, antardasha, pratantardasha, you're going to have an impact of this eclipse because Sun, Moon, Rahu, Venus and Mercury are conjoined in Aquarius. Ketu is in the sign of Leo. And all these planets are being aspected by Jupiter by the 9th aspect. Saturn's in Pisces, Mars is going to be in Capricorn, and all the planets are hemmed between Saturn and Mars. Therefore, this eclipse has a lot of tamasic energies. It is in Aquarius, in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Aquarius sign has the energies of Saturn and Rahu, who are the co-rulers. Dhanishta Nakshatra is ruled by Mars, and Rahu's presence, Saturn's presence, and Mars's presence. Moreover, the sign of Aquarius and the eclipse is in a Papkartari Yoga. Jupiter's aspect protects but at the same time expands every signification that is involved in this eclipse. Due to the high tamasic nature of this eclipse, I urge caution and extreme regular spiritual practice, spiritual sadhana should be increased. Eclipses are very good for spiritual progress. So any manifestations that you do, any sadhana that you do, any prayers that you do, or any ambitions that you have, plans that you have, it is the perfect day to do it in terms of manifestation of all kind because the energy is vibrant and it is very, very positive from a spiritual point of view. At a physical level, you will see this from your ascendant sign or the lagna. At the mental emotional level, you can also see this from your moon sign. My friends who are Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon sign, 17th of February 2026, there is a partial solar eclipse that is happening in your 11th house in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Now, there are a lot of tamasic energies that are involved. So, firstly, your 11th house will be involved in a Papkartari Yoga, where your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant Mars, and the 10th Lord Saturn is involved, being placed in the 10th and the 12th house, and the eclipse and all the planets involved are hemmed between these two natural malefics. Though I do consider the Papkartari Yoga to be of low grade for you because Mars is your Lagna Lord. So this is where I expect it to have least impact on you. Now a number of planets are involved. Since your Lagna Lord is involved, the Nakshatra which is ruled by Mars, it will have a major impact on you. 2 weeks after that, there will be a lunar eclipse as well. So it indicates endings as well as new beginnings. Mercury, Venus, Sun, Moon and Rahu are conjoined in your 11th house. So firstly, this house represents your social groups, networks, collaborations, the alliances that you build, the contacts that you build, and the collective success that you work towards. And of course, this house has a lot of material energies. It represents your material success, material comfort, your Maya, and of course, your unlimited potential as well, because this is the house of fulfillment. So it's an excellent time for you to work towards fulfillment, to bring in a change that could bring fulfillment. So old contracts, old alliances are going to come to an end. Some friendships are come to an end, and this is where you will establish meaningful connections, you will establish meaningful relationship. Now, while engaging on social media platform, while engaging with people, you have to be careful, you have to be cautious. Your 3rd Lord Mercury is involved, your 7th Lord Venus is involved. So communication in your relationship, and Mercury rules your dharma in relationship because he is the Lord of the house which is 9th from your 7th house. So protect your relationship. There could be some communication gap, there could be misunderstanding, quarrels, argument. The results are relatively active between February through April. So a few weeks down the line from the eclipse, the results are generally active. This is also where your 5th Lord Sun is involved. And see, Sun is suffering in the eclipse because what happens is in eclipse, suddenly it becomes dark, suddenly there's light again. So expect suddenness with regards to your future, with regards to your children. With regards to your creative pursuits, with regards to your speculative investments, so if you do trading, if you do any kind of investments, you have to be careful around February March time period, wherein things could turn out to be much sudden in nature. Now this could cause some health repercussions as well, so you have to protect yourself, you have to take the necessary action, necessary correction. But you will regain your image. In social sphere, you will be very focused on your image in the society, you will be very focused at your work. Your work is getting great support. Mars is making a transit alone in the 10th house. It is big bully, it is gaining direction strength. Now when the eclipse occurs in the 11th house and multiple planets placed in the 11th house, you do get a lot of material success. So in the next few weeks, yes, you could get some financial gains. However, you will have to put in more efforts. You will feel that your efforts are going wasted, and you could also have some opposition. Now the strongest planet amongst all of these is in a friendly sign, that is Venus and Mercury. They're in the friendly sign. Alright, but Rahu holds the greatest strength here. So it will incline you towards taking shortcuts, towards quick ways of earning wealth, quick ways of success, quick ways of making money. This is where you have to stay ethical. Jupiter is aspecting all these planets here by the 9th aspect. Jupiter's 9th aspect represents knowledge that you should implement in your life. Now, Jupiter protects and it also expands. So its connection with Sun is good, with Venus and Mercury is good. With Rahu, it will try to keep it under control, under good potential. But all the negative connotations are likely to expand, which is health issues, which is your social connections, your rift with friends, or probably cutting some ties. If it is happening for a good reason, you're stepping away from toxic relationships and you're moving to some meaningful friendships, long-lasting relationship. So any fractured relations should come to an end for you to establish meaningful relations. Now, if someone has to step into a new relationship, since your 7th Lord Venus is involved, you have to exercise utmost caution. Jupiter is also involved, who's your 9th Lord. So be the messenger of your dharma, be the protector of your dharma. And over the course of next few months, I encourage you to go on a spiritual journey, to go travel, look around, maybe a spiritual place. During the eclipse, you can use the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or any prayers that you do, any manifestations that you do on that day has multi-fold effect. Materially, this time period is good for you, is highly beneficial. Health, you have to keep your health at check, keep it under control. From a work standpoint, you could have some new change, you could have new opportunities coming your way. Now you will take some time to settle in with these energies, because when the energy shift happens, and 11th house is the fulfillment of your work, it is the consumption of your work, because it is second from the 10th house. And this is where initially it would lead to a lot of confusion. So some things will be forced on you. There could be authority issues, leadership issues, but gradually there is success that is seen. You have a greater chance of getting recognized at your work. This time period, avoid any major decisions in your life. Alright, as long as there are pressing matters, if there are urgent things, of course you can take care of those things, but at the same time, if you can plan ahead of the time, if some major decisions can wait, I would urge you to wait for the right time, wait for the next few weeks for the energies to settle, and then take those big steps. Continue to strengthen Surya. Surya related remedies are must. Or you could listen to Vishnu Sahasranam, or you could read the Aditya Hridayam during the eclipse, and my best wishes for you. My friends out there who are Taurus ascendant signs and the Taurus moon signs, at the physical level you will see this from your ascendant sign Lagna, because this is where yogas fructify. At the mental emotional level you can also see this from your moon sign. There's a major eclipse that is happening on 17th of February. Though globally I do not expect it to create a big turmoil, but yes, at the individual level, since all the planets are involved, and this is the exceptional scenario, this is what makes this eclipse very, very special, very unique, in spite of being visible mostly from Antarctica and the surrounding regions. Now this eclipse is happening in your 10th house. 10th house of your professional endeavors, your work. It is the house of karma, your actions, your duty, your commitment towards the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in the world. And all the planets, starting from Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Moon, Mercury, Rahu, Venus, Ketu, all are involved. Because 5 planets are conjoined in Aquarius, which includes Moon, Mercury, Sun, Rahu and Venus. They are being aspected by Jupiter by the 9th aspect. Saturn and Mars are hemming this house, 2 natural malefics, creating a Papkartari yoga, which causes blockages. And of course, Ketu is also involved because it is 7th from this axis. So this involves your Lagna Lord. It involves your fifth lord. So of course, for yourself and your future, you will have some remarkable results and effects that you could feel. Now, eclipses signify something that is coming to an end for a new beginning. Since your work is involved, job related matters, work related matters are expected to come to an end. Something is coming to a closure for a fresh beginning, for a fresh start. So this house represents your career, your public image, your reputation. This is the natural Arudha Bhava, okay, which represents your image in the society. So of course, your image, your identity, your ego is in question. Now, you definitely have some work related karma during this time. So certain things or matters related to your work is coming to an end. Where yourself, you are involved, your future is involved, your bhagya is involved. You can also get some travel opportunities later which are linked to your work. But you will get some new projects, some new assignments, some things that you have never done in the past, and you will have to step out of your comfort zone. So work matters will mostly remain stressful, but it is in a good manner because you have a lot of expansive tendencies during this eclipse. Rahu does very well in the 10th house, and Rahu is holding the dominant position. So firstly, it is causing a Grahan on Surya. The other planets, of course, are facing combustion. Moon is also under Grahan. It is partial, but at the same time, this can bring some recognition and some pivots in your professional life. You could reach towards a pathway that you've been thinking of doing, which is meaningful, which is purpose driven, which is very much aligned towards your future, because Mercury is also playing a role. So Rahu does very well with Mercury as well as Venus. It doesn't like Sun, it doesn't like Moon, because they are very pure grahas. So at the same time, it has a mix of rajas as well as tamas energies, and this eclipse has a lot of tamasic energies. So at work, if you were to succeed, you need to have some balanced spiritual life as well, because all the planets are aspecting your fourth house. Your 10-4 axis, when that is active, you will struggle to strike a balance between your work and your life, which demands a lot of attention. You could become isolated from home related responsibility. And this time period is not ideal to take any major investment, real estate, buying and selling decision, or some significant changes in your household, because your expense could be on a higher side at this time. This time is very good for work related manifestation, for setting, establishing clear goals, clear timelines, and raising your benchmark. Okay, and of course, setting stretched goals. This is the kind of time period and the energies which are very much favorable for you. Moon, your third lord, is involved. So over the course of next few weeks, you will feel that you're putting a lot of efforts and you're getting little results. Now you'll have to step out of your comfort zone because fourth lord Sun becomes weak during this time. So over the course of next few weeks, yes, some obstructions are there, but you are definitely changing something around your work for greater good. You could have a greater chance of achieving some sort of recognition. Now, if you make a major career move during this time, let's say decide to quit your job, move on your own, move independent, or move to some contractual role, contractual position around this time, or within few weeks before, few weeks after this, you will feel very uncomfortable. You will start questioning your decision. But please, dharya, patience, you have to wait, because this can turn out to be a very good decision for you eventually. Give yourself time. You have to give yourself at least 4 to 6 months in order to be content with anything and everything that you do. Your sixth lord and the Lagna lord Venus is involved. Take care of yourself and your health and well-being. See, this is where, since your Lagna lord is involved, it is combust and under the eclipse axis. So definitely it is going to have an impact on you, your personality, your temperament. Be very protective of your relationship. Though this period, I expect very good results when it comes to relationship. Harmony is going to be there. It is very favorable for your spouse, for your partner. They could have some work growth. They could have some positive change. Because of your partner or spouse, you can also move places or shift residence. That is also applicable. See, 10th house also plays an important role in foreign lands, places which are outside, because 4th house is your home, 10th house is opposite. So from a karmic standpoint, if your karmas are there to move out of your homeland, 10th house and the Lord should be supportive. So circumstances and situation can also become favorable, which leads to some sort of shift, because Jupiter, your 8th Lord, is aspecting all these grahas, creating expansive tendencies. Your 10th Lord is under great protection, but any effects that you will have, you could expect 5 or 6 times amplified effects. This is what is needed at this hour. Financially, I do not expect any constraint. I do not expect any break. Yes, If there's a major move, you will feel uncomfortable. You have to give yourself 4 to 6 months to let these energies settle. Increase your spiritual sadhana. Make sure that you keep your workspace clean and absolutely tidy. There are a mix of water, air, and earth energies. So, of course, make the most of these energies. The only element that is also dominant is fire, but sun is under eclipse. So, of course, that is there, but it's an air sign. So, it indicates movement. But Aquarius at the same time is fixed, which brings stability. So, it is time to bring stability and a sense of security at your work. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a mantra that you can chant. My friends out there who are Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. At the physical level, you will see this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you can also see this from your moon sign. But from the ascendant, because when I'm talking about the eclipse and certain yogas are applicable, a number of grahas are involved, we must primarily see it from the Lagna. So on 17th of February, an intense eclipse is happening in the sign of Aquarius in Dhanishta Nakshatra, and this is where your ninth house is involved. So a number of planets are involved. Regardless of your dasha, whatever you're going through, since all the planets are involved, including your Lagna Lord Mercury, your 5th Lord Venus, and also your 9th Lord Saturn, because Saturn and Mars are causing a Pap Kartari Yoga on the 9th house and on this eclipse. So the energies are quite intense. Now, 9th house represents your dharma predominantly. It is the house of your past, your lineage. That is why we see father from this house. Now, foreign matters are also connected to the 9th house. This house represents how your communication is going to be in your relationship and what are the lessons that you're going to learn. For higher education purposes, we also consider 9th house, and this house also represents spiritual education, spiritual knowledge. And at the same time, this represents your bhagya, your fortunes. It's a very important house. Rahu has the dominant position in this eclipse, and Rahu is not a bad graha for you because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius. It is your bhagyesha. Now, fortune could really turn very high for you. This time period could lead to recognition, could lead to your reach, probably you reaching out to the masses or to a large number of audiences in terms of influencing people. Breakthrough insights could be there in terms of your learning, in terms of your development. If you're pursuing higher educational ventures and if you're running through a favorable dasha, this time period could be extremely supportive for you. What you must remedy here is your Lagna Lord Mercury. Because when Rahu is in the trinal house, we must look up to Mercury in order to get positive results. All of these grahas are under the 9th aspect of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter's 9th aspect is about the kind of knowledge that you must represent, that you must implement. But at the same time, it will expand everything. Now, the positive connotations with regards to this eclipse, it will expand that. And certain negative instances, again, it is going to expand. Your 6th Lord and the 8th Lord, which is Mars and Saturn, are causing a Pap Kartari Yoga, which means that you're going to face some issues with regards to your adversities. There could be paperwork related issues, there could be government related issues with regards to immigration, with regards to visas, with regards to your taxes. So please be a little bit cautious during this time and avoid getting into any complex paperwork, and make sure if you have some documentation that is ongoing, you're very clear about where you're heading and the direction in which you're moving. Your 9-3 axis is involved. While the eclipse is there, it indicates certain things are coming to an end. Alright, so if you have some very strong ideologies or ideological differences, or I'm not saying that your dharma and of course your religion and your belief system is going to come to an end, but you're going to have a shift for good. You no longer will rely on your fortune, rather take things in your own hand. Independent thinking is must, because when Mercury is involved, it asks you to be independent. Venus is involved, you need to have a futuristic approach as well. Now, when Sun is involved, it would ensure that, of course, a number of efforts that you're continuously putting, you will probably feel that, okay, I'm putting a lot of efforts, I'm not seeing that result. From a financial point of view, since Moon is involved, and it is in a good Dhan Yoga along with Venus and Mercury, and that is happening in the 9th house. So fortune will elevate, but at the same time you must focus a lot on your free will. Jupiter continues to ensure protection, But Jupiter has a lot of weight, it brings a lot of heaviness. And this is where you have to continue to exercise, you have to continue to stay active. So health should be your number one priority. Ninth house is also 12th from your 10th house. So it indicates some expenses related to your work, some expenses related to your karma as well. So you will invest a lot of time and energies in your karma. That is very good. But if you're running through a business or you're in a job or any kind of work, your expenses are likely to increase. Your efforts are also likely to increase. Now, if you were to succeed in workplace context, you need to focus a lot on your self-awareness. Be aware of your key strengths. Start building on your key strengths. Of course, you can consider your opportunity areas or weaknesses as well. But as long as you're very diligently focusing on your strengths, it is good for you, because this is also what the ninth house represents. Since a number of lordships are involved, we see significant shift. This axis also represents journey or travel. So there could be travel opportunities. This time period, you will either plan for a good travel, which is a long travel, and it could be for long duration and long distance as well. Or you will undertake a journey. Now, when you're undertaking a journey, just be careful of two things. One is, of course, your paperwork. Make sure you have all your documentation. Make sure you carry your things. Make sure you do not forget your important paperwork, such as passports and visas and etc. And at the same time, you have to take care of your belongings, because there could be some minor issues that you're likely to face during your journey. Now, between February through May, you must take up a spiritual journey, because if you go to a spiritual place or a retreat, that is going to be extremely beneficial for you. That is going to bring renewed energies. You can chant Mercury's Bij mantra, or you could worship Lord Vishnu, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or Om Vishnave Namah. These are the two mantras that you could do during the time of eclipse. My friends out there who are Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. Physical level, you will see this from the ascendant, emotional, mental level from the moon sign. Now, the intense solar eclipse is happening in Aquarius in Dhanishta Nakshatra. This eclipse has the energies of Mars, Saturn and Rahu. So, a lot of tamasic energies are predominantly in existence. But Dhanishta Nakshatra is very favorable for wealth related matters, for accumulation, and of course, to bring a rhythm in life, because that's what it represents. Now, this is also the fact that Rahu is the strongest amongst all grahas during the time of eclipse and during this conjunction, because it is making a transit in its own sign, co-lords Aquarius, and in Shatabisha Nakshatra, its own nakshatra. So it has a lot of power. This is happening in your 8th house. So expect intense energies over the course of next few weeks. So something that you need, which is a must do, is spiritual practices, sadhana, meditation, and engage yourself in a lot of sadhana. Om Namo Narayanaya. This is an Ashtakshari or an 8-syllable mantra. I'm sharing this with you in the very beginning. You can use that during the time of eclipse to cater through the intense energies and at the same time make some good manifestations, because eclipses has good energies. Spiritual energies are very high, and whatever we manifest from a spiritual point of view, from a devotional point of view, we do have a tendency to get blessings. 8th house represents crisis kind of situation, suddenness in life, an erratic pace. Suddenly things change. An eclipse, it's sudden energies, because suddenly it becomes dark, suddenly there's light again. Now, predominantly it is visible in a remote part of Antarctica. Alright, so I do not expect havoc in the world. But this will bring out hidden matters, because something that is coming to an end for a new beginning. So your past secrets, your past trauma, your past adversities, these matters are coming to an end. If you face some issues with regards to inheritance, with regards to taxes, with regards to your own disasters, with regards to some mental level disturbances, some traumatic experiences, some trauma that you're carrying since a long period of time, this year is an opportunity for you to put an end to that trauma, to put a pause to that trauma, and move forward for positive transformation. Deep transformation is expected, because 8th house naturally has a lot of depth. 8th house is natural Scorpio, so a lot of depth is there. It represents research, it represents breakthroughs. So any research related work that you carry over the course of next few weeks, it is going to be very good. So everything is not bad here. Moon, your Lagna Lord, is involved. So the only caveat is, firstly, Moon is Maran Karak in the 8th house. It is a death-like position. So you lose on compassion, you lose on emotions. So emotionally, it is going to be intense for you. But from a physical transformation point of view, it is a golden opportunity for you if you want to bring some intense transformation either in your body, the way of life, or of course your living as well. You can bring a 180-degree shift in your lifestyle. Since your Lagna Lord is involved under the eclipse, it is weak, it is under certain affliction, very closely conjoined with Sun and within the axis of Rahu and Ketu. I do not expect you to take major decisions 1 week before the eclipse and 2 weeks after the eclipse. So this is a time wherein you have to stay low-key, increase your spiritual sadhana. The day of the eclipse, you have to increase your spiritual sadhana again. 8th house is also under Papa Kartari Yoga by Mars and Saturn, which means that you are safe from adversities, you are safe from anything sudden, from sudden news, sudden disappointments and suddenness in life. So this is where Jupiter is aspecting by the 9th aspect, making a transit in your 12th house. So see, your 8th and 12th house are absolutely very active over the course of next few weeks, starting 17th of February. This is what you have to understand. And it itself means a lot of spiritual practice should be seen. 6 planets are there in the 8th and the 12th house, which calls for spiritual sadhana. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. These are the magic mantras here. Now, this also involves your 11th Lord Venus and your 3rd Lord Mercury, along with the 2nd Lord Sun. So, Surya is certainly giving some support from inheritance matters, some hidden either debts would probably come up, you would either repay those debts or you will get some inheritance related benefit, but there could be some complex paperwork that you could expect. Emotional ups and downs are seen during this phase. So your mood will have extreme level of swing. So this is where you have to take care of the things. Avoid any harsh decisions, avoid any impulsive decisions related to your home. Venus is involved, which is your 4th Lord. It is conjoined with Mercury. That brings a lot of impulsiveness, and they're under Papkartari Yoga, combust by Sun. Though it will reduce obstacles for you. Venus also becomes Bhadakesh, and this time period will reduce obstacles, bring positive transformation. All the planets are aspecting your 2nd house. Be very mindful of your finances. Be very mindful of your accumulation. Be very mindful of your savings. And in the subsequent time period, you can have a tendency to gain from your past investment, but this is a time period that will not going to come back if you're looking forward to end some trauma that you're carrying, some emotional baggage that you're carrying. This is your time to eventually become strong and a thick-skinned person. Continue to do your spiritual sadhana and continue to do your meditation, and my best wishes. My friends out there who are Leo ascendant signs, Leo Lagna people or the Leo moon sign. Physical level, you will see this from the ascendant sign. Mental emotional level, your capacity to deal with from an emotional point of view, you can also read this from your moon sign or your Chandra Rashi. Now the solar eclipse that is happening on 17th of February is quite intense because all the planets are involved. Exceptional circumstances, exceptional scenario here. This is happening in your 7th house. 7th house is called Jaya Bhava. There are 2 names of it. We call it Jaya Bhava because it represents peace and war. Peace in your life and also conflicts. Alright, because this is where other people are involved. Conflict happens with people. And it is also Daya Bhav, which means your ability to help others. Whether you will be selfish or whether you will help others. Mercury and Venus are involved, who would probably make you more selfish. These are benefics. Moon will also make you selfish, but Sun and Rahu will make you a philanthropic. And Rahu is a potent natural malefic. He holds the strongest disposition here. In your 7th house, in own sign, own nakshatra, and Digvali, gaining directional strength. Sun is weak, which is your Lagna Lord. Mercury is weak, Venus gains strength. Expect a relationship karma. Very heavy relationship karma is coming your way over the course of next few weeks, and it is coming for good. Rahu is Digbali. Avoid shortcuts in business. avoid quick ways of making money, avoid harsh impulsive decisions, because this is where Mercury is also involved. Business expansion can happen, alright, but not out of impulsion, but conscious planning. This is what you have to do. All these planets are under the ninth aspect of Jupiter. Jupiter's ninth aspect is about how you implement the knowledge. Since a number of planets are already there in the quadrant house, so I expect your confidence to be a little bit high. Since Sun is weak, you have to do remedies related to Sun. Listen to Aditya Hridayam, chant mantras related to Surya Dev, Om Ghrani Surya Adityaya. This is a simple mantra that you could use in your prayers. Relationship issues are going to come. You're going to have a very diplomatic outlook, diplomatic approach when it is dealing with other people. See, because when multiple planets gets conjoined in one house, they create confusion, they create instability with regards to matters of that house. So while dealing with other people, you will be very diplomatic. Some relationship is coming to an end, or your behavioral pattern in that relationship is coming to an end for you to change if you were to sustain, if you were to survive in your relationship, if you were to protect that. That is the key message for you. You need to move out of isolation and try to deal with these opposite energies. Make sure that the expectations are very clear, they are mutually in an agreement, and of course, under those circumstances. This is where your 2nd and the 11th Lord Mercury is involved, your 10th Lord Venus is involved. So of course, business related progress is there. Some business decision is coming to an end, a closure, you're closing out on some deal and you're looking forward to new contracts, new agreement. For those people who are looking forward to getting married or stepping into a relationship, a few days before the eclipse and 2 or 3 weeks after the eclipse is a sensitive time period where you have to think through and make a conscious decision. I would expect that mid-March onwards, things will be more favorable for you when it comes to relationship, to step into something new. Your 7th house is also under a Pap Kartari Yoga. Those people who are already married, they have to certainly protect their relationship, and at the same time, this time period can cause some health related issue for your spouse. Mars and Saturn are involved. Mars is a Yoga Karak Graha for you. So in case you have any enmity, any opposition, Mars is making a strong transit in your 6th house. Job matters are going to be favorable, but any opposition that is there, you're likely to defeat that opposition. Without a doubt, it is giving you growth opportunities as well. But it is causing a Papkartari Yoga on your 7th house. Ego conflicts could surface, so you have to keep your ego aside because number of planets are aspecting your ascendant. So when they're aspecting your ascendant, either you change your personality, you work on your leadership skills, you work on your communication, you work on your relationship building skills, and work on your expansion, plus emotion as well. Alright. Now, you could be in a situation where existing partnerships can have some strain. So either you will look for new ventures, new partnerships, new associations, or you would call it an end and move solo, move independent. So some lessons you are going to learn either the easy way or the hard way. Since your ascendant lord is involved, expect changes in your personality. Temperament could be of change, and Sun has of course a lot of fiery energies here. Make sure that you drink enough water, you keep yourself hydrated, and at the same time, see, there are a lot of myths around the eclipse that okay, don't eat anything, don't drink anything. Yes, during the time of the eclipse we should avoid, because Sun is weak, it affects our digestive system, and this is very scientific in nature as well. However, it is not that you have to probably stay hungry throughout the day or you cannot step out. As long as it is not visible in your region, you're absolutely okay to step out. You're okay to offer water to Sun as well. Argha should be given to Sun during the eclipse, on the day of the eclipse, not during, but in the morning time, right when the Sun is rising, you should offer water. And of course, this will help you channel the energies, gain self-confidence, because this is a time when you have to re-establish your identity. And some foreign connections can also be built over the course of next few months, some foreign collaborations with regards to your business. You have a good chance to build them. Your health and vitality is definitely going to improve. My friends out there who are Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs, the eclipse that is happening on 17th of February. So predominantly you will understand these yogas, the effect from your ascendant, and your mental capacity, how do you deal with your emotions, because eclipses bring intense energy. This is where you will read this from your moon sign. So eclipses bring endings and new beginnings. Solar eclipse is happening, calling for end. 2 weeks after that, lunar eclipse, which is calling for new beginnings, fresh start, fresh perspective. Now, this intense eclipse is happening in your 6th house. Firstly, your 6th house is under a Pap Kartari yoga. By the virtue of Mars and Saturn, they have hemmed the 6th house between two malefics, which calls for defeat of your enemies, your opposition, and your ability to counter any opposition that you have, or if you're facing any obstacles with regards to your job, momentarily you can expect that to continue, but gradually mid-March onwards you can expect some respite. You can also expect new job opportunities come your way. 6th house represents seva, service. It represents rog ripu, which means health, wellness, diseases, your debts, and at the same time health and well-being, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. We see job from this house as well because this is the house of seva. Routines are seen from this house. How do we establish a routine? Since your ascendant lord Mercury is involved, your 9th lord Venus is involved, and of course your 5th lord Saturn is also involved because it's causing a Papkartari yoga. Your 7th lord Jupiter is also involved. So expect a lot of karmas with regards to yourself, your work, your relationship, and your fortune. All right. So this time period really calls for a reset in your habits, your health and well-being, healthy habits, improved service effectiveness. So something related to your life, related to your lifestyle, related to your routine is coming to an end for you to change it to a great extent. Sun is causing a Viparita yoga during this eclipse. So circumstances will go adverse, eventually you will rise. This eclipse also means that your expense is going to reduce significantly over the course of the next few weeks. So this is a respite for you and an opportunity for you to accumulate. Since your 2nd lord is involved and your 11th lord is involved, they are in a Dhan yoga. But this Dhan yoga is occurring in the 6th house. So if you get an opportunity and if you have some debts, some loans, you will get an opportunity to repay them. This is your window wherein you can settle some dues. Something that you have to avoid is a lot of overthinking, overdoing things, because when 6th house is intense, it is your routine, it is the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. We tend to exaggerate in anything and everything. So avoid overdoing, avoid overcommitting a job, or making some promises that you cannot fulfill. Relationship matters are going to be sensitive. See, Saturn is protecting relationship, it gains directional strength in the 7th house, but 6th house has a number of planets. 6th house doesn't necessarily cause a permanent separation. It causes distance. There could be a physical distance because of travel, because of journey. If you're married, maybe one of you may need to travel. This time period could be slightly detrimental towards your partner's health because 7th house is your partner. This is 12th from the 7th house representing hospitals. So this is where you have to take care of their health and vitality. You will be slow paced. You will think, reflect, and act. So embrace the slowness of this time and try to move slow. There is no rush. Avoid impulsiveness. Mercury is going to bring a lot of impulsive energies. Venus is Maran Karak here. So of course, some relationship karma is also expected. But if you are in the position that you're looking forward to making changes in your lifestyle, this is your time. 6th house has got a Shadakshari mantra, that is Om Vishnave Namah. This will be beneficial for you for your daily prayers and also prayers during the eclipse. See, your 6th and 12th house is very active, very active here, right? There are 6 planets that are there in the 6th and the 12th house, including Ketu as well. So spiritual remedies, spiritual upliftment and sadhana is necessary. Your confidence will still be high because Saturn and Jupiter, they are transiting in your Kendra house, in your quadrant house, which will make you feel confident, which will ensure that you're sticking to your path and you're very clear of your fundamental duties, of your fundamental responsibilities. Jupiter's 9th aspect is falling on all these grahas. Jupiter will give the knowledge that you can implement in your daily life, which comes the how part. So you would be thinking, okay, if I have to change my habits, how do I do it? You will get some mechanism. By the help of other people, by taking the necessary guidance, the right advice, you will start moving on that path. But Jupiter also expands the negative significances. So if you do not bring your health lifestyle on track, you will have health issues, you will have hospital visits, and this is where you have to be careful as well. This house represents your digestive system, so please take care of your diet, please take care of your digestion, and avoid any such food. You might need to undergo some tests, but avoid any such food that is detrimental towards your stomach, that causes issues or obstruction with regards to your digestion. This is something which is a must do. Continue to strengthen Mercury, your Lagna Lord, and also do some remedies related to Surya, because if you do remedies related to Surya, it supports all the other grahas that are involved in the eclipse in the most positive manner. My friends out there who are Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. On 17th of February, there's an intense eclipse that is happening in Aquarius and Dhanishta Nakshatra. In the beginning of the video, I shared some insights. I have a previous video wherein I spoke about 9 top predictions and insights in this eclipse and its astrological significance. You can watch those videos as well. Now, this is where this eclipse is happening in your 5th house. So, 5th house is called the Rajya Bhava. It represents king-like success, position is seen, power is seen from this house, authority is seen from this house, and it represents your future. Now, your ascendant Lord Venus is involved. This eclipse has a lot of tamasic energies because it's got the energies of Saturn, the sign lord of Aquarius, Rahu, the co-lord of Aquarius, and Mars, the lord of Dhanishta Nakshatra. Though Dhanishta Nakshatra represents rhythm in life, it is very good from an accumulation point of view. It is very good from a material mundane point of view and bringing a sense of consistency and activity oriented nakshatra. It's an activity oriented nakshatra. So this is where it fits your 5th house. Firstly, any mantra based remedies is going to work very well for you between February through May. Depending on the natal placement of Saturn, if Saturn is well placed in your natal chart, natal kundli, you can expect most positive results with regards to your future progress, with regards to wealth related matters as well. During the eclipse, 6 planets are in your trinal house, including Jupiter. So your foundations are very strong, value system, alright. So this is where it is extremely supportive from a financial point of view from wealth related matter, because this involves your 11th Lord Surya, your 9th Lord Mercury, and your Lagna Lord Venus. All are conjoined in the 5th house. Though they are hemmed between 2 malefics, Mars and Saturn, causing an obstruction. Okay, you could expect some stomach related issues because things are sensitive. You could have sensitive stomach. If you eat outside food, you could be susceptible to food poisoning and some of these other things. So this is where you have to take care of yourself, especially when you're traveling. But this time period, in spite of some future uncertainties, is good for you to bring in a sense of power, dominance and authority in anything that you do, because your 10th Lord Moon is also involved. So multiple yogas are being formed. Rahu has a dominant position in Aquarius in your 5th house, and Rahu is connected to Kendra Lord. So Rahu becomes Raj Yoga giver here. So therefore, you do remedies related to Surya, Sun and Venus. These are the 2 planets that you must remedy to gain maximum and for positive decision making, since Venus is combust. First few weeks, I do not expect you to take major decisions. Between mid-February to end of February, no major decisions. March onwards, yes, you're in the position to take that. This time period, you can come in touch with, come in contact with some influential people, people who hold an authority. See, because your Lagna Lord, 9th Lord, 10th Lord and the 11th Lord are conjoined in a trinal house, along with the co-ruler of this trinal house, that is Rahu. Therefore, I do not expect this eclipse to bring huge detrimental impact here. A lot of positive yogas are there. Very good for understanding the markets, the speculative business. If you are trying to venture into it, you could do some safe investments without a doubt. But during the eclipse, avoid major decisions. Good decisions related to your children and their future. And of course, those people who are planning to start a family this time period could initiate things. Your intelligence is likely to grow. This time period is good for learning, strategic investments, investments where you will benefit later in the long run. No shortcuts. Rahu will push you towards shortcuts. Jupiter is aspecting. Jupiter will give the right kind of knowledge to implement. So Rahu is in Niyantran. He is under the control of Jupiter. thankfully. Now, this is also the fact wherein I would expect you to avoid any emotional decision making, any emotional judgment, anything where intense emotional energies are involved. Some romantic associations, relations might come to an end for you to seek new, meaningful long-term relations. This could also be on the card. All right. Your seventh lord is in a strong disposition. So this time period, since this house is in transit, second house from the transit placement of the seventh lord. So it could be financially rewarding for your spouse, for your partner, in case you're already married. And this is also 11th from your 7th house. So expect some sort of financial gains, positional rise, or they could get some sort of recognition, appreciation for the kind of work that they're doing, for the kind of influence that they have. So this is where they have a chance to step into authoritative roles. You can also build some political connects during this time. Now, what happens is when multiple planets do get conjoined in one particular house, they also create certain inconsistencies with regards to matters of that house. So beware of those inconsistencies, which means you will still be a little bit uncertain towards the future. You're not very sure. You're there, but you still can't take that final call, final decision. You need some guidance, you need some support, you need some pep talk. Once you get that, you will start moving pretty well in the most positive direction. And do mantra-based remedies to maximize your opportunities. A simple Panchakshari would be good for you. That is Namah Shivaya. Look up to him and he will guide you. My friends out there who are Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. From a physical standpoint, you will read these eclipse energies from your Lagna. Mental, emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. So the intense eclipse in Aquarius in Dhanishta Nakshatra is happening in your 4th house. This eclipse has got a lot of tamasic energies. It's got the energies of Saturn, Rahu, who are the co-lords of Aquarius, and Mars, who rules Dhanishta Nakshatra. Dhanishta Nakshatra is about rhythm, it's about consistency, it's a high energy nakshatra, it is a good nakshatra, and one thing is certain, next few weeks you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are trying new things, you are very much interested and invested in your hobbies, in your personal interest, and workplace related situation could be slightly complex over the course of next few weeks. You will also take some very important decisions related to your real estate, related to your assets, your vehicle, or your inner security. Emotionally driven decisions will be there. Now, thankfully, Moon and Venus are involved here, both gain directional strength. They are Digbali in the 4th house. So they are blessings of the Divine Mother. Worship Goddess Lakshmi or Goddess Parvati to maximize these energies. Because this will also support you from a financial point of view. Moon is your Bhagyesha, 9th Lord. 9th Lord is involved, 10th Lord is involved. So there is a Dharma Karma Yoga that is being formed in the 4th house. However, the 4th house is hemmed between two malefics, Mars and Saturn. They cause a mild Pap Kartari Yoga here because one planet is at least benefic for you, which means that yes, you will step out of your comfort zone, take care of your health, take care of your lifestyle. You know, if you probably have some issues with regards to cholesterol, blood pressure, heart, these situations, so you have to be a little bit careful here. This time period, since there's a Dharma Karma Yoga in your 4th house, so a lot of focus needs to be given to things at home. You will bring structural reforms either in your personal life or some structural changes in your house where you live, or you will move places because this time period is causing affliction on your 4th house. So when you have to shift, when you have to make a move, even let's say moving to a foreign land or somewhere outside, firstly, it is important that your 4th house should be under affliction. So when that is there, that becomes a triggering point. This is where your 9th Lord is involved, which indicates travel. Your 12th Lord is involved, which is Venus, which indicates foreign lands. And your 8th Lord, Mercury, is also involved, which represents places that are across the sea. Between February through May, it is the most ideal time for you to make this move. And if you make a move, it is going to be good for you. If it is aligned with your Dasha Antardasha, you've been trying to do it, please continue the efforts. Chances are very high for you to make a movement. If you don't make a movement, you will definitely make some changes in your house, at your home. Bring some new plants at your home. This is very good. and do some spiritual sadhana, yoga, meditation, breathing exercise, pranayam, anulom vilom. So any similar practices that you could do at your home. Your 4-10 axis is involved here, which calls for a greater sense of balance between what you do at home and what you do at work. Isolation tendencies will be there at work, but there are complex energies. There could be some authority issues, but you will be able to navigate those issues because the situation is a little bit favorable under your circumstances. Rahu is in Kendra house. It is conjoined with Trine Lord, so it becomes favorable. It is under the 9th aspect of Jupiter. All the planets are being aspected by Jupiter. So your 4th house and 8th house is very heavy, which are moksha trines. So firstly, 6 planets are there in the Kendra houses. So the quadrants are strong, the fundamentals are strong, and thankfully it is not a Sarpa Yoga because Sun is involved, alright, and Sun is your 10th Lord. Now this is where you have to continue to increase your spiritual sadhana because 4th house, 8th house, they have something in common, which is spiritual knowledge, moksha gyan, the knowledge related to spirituality. 4th house represents primary education. So you have to go back to your roots. You have to go back to your fundamentals. Now something that is coming to an end, either you picked up a hobby or an interest or something that was not so meaningful for you or purpose driven for you. You were doing a job or a work which is not aligned with your values. That is coming to an end for you to step into something which is more meaningful, which is more purpose driven, and you will go back to your roots. Primary level education, building your value system, that is going to be very important, extremely important for you. Do spiritual sadhana, spiritual remedies because energies are intense and they are quite high. Your Lagna Lord is not directly involved in this eclipse, so you have the authority to take important decisions in your life. At least Mars is going to ensure any efforts that you put, you will see results of that effort. But either you yourself be ready to step out of your comfort zone, otherwise the situation is going to force you, situation is going to push you. Your 7th Lord, Venus, is involved. And this is happening in the 4th house, which is 10th from the 7th house. So, in case you are married, your partner or spouse can have some career related success. Either a job change, new business venture, some sort of promotion or a recognition could be on the cards. That will depend on their dasha antadasha. Your mother's health could be a little bit concerning. Please take care and exercise utmost caution. Please be in touch with your mother and of course, improve your relationship. This is a time period to mend certain ties. If you've had some troubles or some differences, this is your time to improve those personal relationships and bring in a sense of safety and security at your home. So my friends out there who are Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs, on 17th of February we are going to witness an intense solar eclipse. Though from a regional point of view, it is going to be visible in the remote parts of Antarctica and some parts of South American region and the South African region. But since many planets are involved, apparently all the planets are involved, including Saturn and Mars, because they are causing a Pap Kartari Yoga on the sign of Aquarius, where the eclipse happened. So regardless of your time period, it is going to have an impact. Eclipses denote endings and new beginnings. 17th of February, we have solar eclipse. 2 weeks after that, we have the lunar eclipse, so which signifies some things which are coming to an end for you to have a fresh start, fresh perspective. Now, this is happening in your 3rd house in the sign of Aquarius in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Therefore, the eclipse has the energies of Saturn, Rahu as well as Mars. So, there are a lot of tamasic energies which are involved. Now, 3rd house, you will have intense experience with regards to your belief system, with regards to your ideology, because this is where your 3-9 axis is involved. And the 3-9 axis is the axis of growth, it is the axis of journey. It is also all about your philosophy in life. So you can expect philosophical shifts over the course of next few weeks. So between mid of February through mid of May is precisely the timeline wherein you could expect you to go either on short journeys or long journeys. For those people who are planning to move outside of their home country, planning to settle abroad as well, this could be a favorable time period. Or you might change residence. So changing residence, shifting your houses. If you're not shifting houses, you might do some inner construction work, some sort of repair work, which will cause your attention. So there is a movement that is warranted. Either you will move because of your job, because this is where your 10th Lord Mercury is also involved. Your Lagna Lord Jupiter is also involved because Jupiter is aspecting all these planets. When Jupiter aspects by the ninth aspect, it does two things. One, of course, it is giving the power of knowledge to apply, to implement. Second is, it will expand all the matters. Third house is the house of desires. Effort, valor, courage, change is seen from this house, and movement is also seen from this house because it indicates journeys. But journey doesn't necessarily mean that we will go and travel. You can start something new as well. So this time period is ideal to finish your old ventures, old assignments, and start some new assignments. For those who are seeking employment opportunities, this time period you might get some contractual role, some sort of part-time role, or which could probably fill the gap, that could keep you busy or occupied for the next few months. So in case those kind of opportunities come, you should not shy away from it. You have to be very careful with any kind of paperwork, particularly if it's with the government, if it's within your work, if you're signing important agreements, important partnerships, or any important tax related documents as well. You have to be very careful because you will spend unnecessary energies in terms of doing paperwork. Your ninth lord Sun is a part of the eclipse, and Mars, who's your fifth lord, is hemming the third house along with Saturn. So you will feel this theme over the course of next few weeks that you're putting a lot of efforts. Where is the result? Sun and Mercury are forming a Dharma Karma Yoga that is happening in your third house of efforts, of valor or courage. So please do not shy away from putting efforts. Momentarily, yes, you will have intense energies between mid to end of February. Thereafter, I would expect things to progress very well. Venus is also conjoined, so 11th lord and 9th lord are conjoined, which is the Dhan Yoga. The Dhan Yoga is happening in the third house. Nothing will change. Your finances will not move if you do not put efforts, if you are not change ready. So for those people particularly who are trying to move, it's a pretty good time period. Your 7th lord Mercury is also involved, so relationship matters are also on the cards. Of course, see, if you want to go on a new journey, some existing journey has to come to an end. From a remedial point of view, I would urge you after mid of February, visit a spiritual place, visit a place where you connect very well, or go out there, connect with the nature. You could go to a shrine, you could go to a place where you've been wanting to go. And this is where, in case you're married, you take your partner as well, because this is how you'll be able to improve the relationship as well. Your health and vitality should be your number one priority, because in the eclipse, your 6th lord Venus is involved and 8th lord Moon is involved. So there is a Viparit Yoga that is occurring. Circumstances are expected to go adverse and eventually you will rise. So you could develop some food related issues, you could develop health related issues at this point in time. So this is where you have to be cautious, you have to keep yourself at check and make sure that you are getting yourself checked by either regular routine checkup or visiting a hospital here. Alright. Now, major decisions in your life, you should be still in a position to take because Jupiter is away from the axis of eclipse. That's your Lagna Lord, but it is aspecting. Now, when Jupiter aspects, it has a greater sense of dominance there, a greater sense of influence. So, any remedies that you will do, two kinds of remedy. Either you will remedy Jupiter or you will remedy Sun. The Sun is causing a combustion of other planets. Rahu, of course, is overpowering Sun during the eclipse. So, this is where Sun related remedy becomes essential. And Jupiter related remedy also becomes essential. Offering water to the Sun and chanting Jupiter's mantra, a simple mantra that is Om Guruve Namah 12 times could be highly beneficial for you. And this is where you can continue to increase your spiritual sadhana. All the planets are aspecting your 9th house. You will have high sense of desires, at times lack of control on your desires. There are sattvic planets as well, Sun and Moon. There are rajasic planets, Mercury and Venus, and there are tamasic planets such as Rahu and Ketu, which are involved. And the tamasic energies are a bit dominant because Rahu has a greater strength. So please take care of your lifestyle, avoid any kind of overindulgence, avoid any kind of extravagance, and continue an upward movement in your journey. My Capricorn ascendant friends out there, or the Capricorn moon signs, at the physical level from your ascendant, mental, emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. 17th of February, a major eclipse is happening where a number of planets are involved, and whenever more number of planets are involved, it brings more impact. And of course, you would be going through some of the other time period. Even Saturn and Mars are involved because they are causing a Papkartari Yoga on the sign of Aquarius, which is hemmed between these two grahas. And this is where we need to exercise caution, but at the same time, it is an opportunity for certain things coming to an end, for us to look forward to new beginnings. This eclipse is happening in your second house. So your second and 8, 2 and 8 axis is involved, which could slightly complicate things. Now, thankfully, it is not happening in the 8th house, so I do not expect intense energies. Second house represents your food, your accumulation of knowledge, accumulation of wealth, accumulation of anything and everything that you have in your life, which includes your family possessions as well, because this house is linked to your family. And we call it the Dhan Bhava. It is ruled by Saturn and Rahu. The nakshatra lord for this eclipse is Mars, so a lot of tamasic energies are there. Rahu is making a transit here. Now, this house also represents authority and gives insight on your public life and the kind of structures that you follow for yourself. How do you conduct yourself is seen from the second house. So, it gives greater insight in terms of your character, because first house is your Lagna, second house is consumption of anything that is to do with your personality. So, how you conduct yourself is seen from the second house. This time period is extremely important for your own strategic repositioning and to elevate your reputation. So, have some gains with regards to your reputation, with regards to your self-image. This is where your 9th and the 10th lord, Venus and Mercury, are conjoined in the second house. So, firstly, Venus is giving a yoga, which is a Simhasana yoga. Mercury and Venus are giving a Dharma Karma yoga. And Venus also becomes the 5th lord. So, there are multiple yogas that are seen during this time, which means that financially, this is a good phase. If you work on your strategy for the long term, you could be in a position to accumulate, you could be in a position to save, you could have significant financial rise over the course of next few weeks. This is something which I would expect. Now, what happens is when too many planets are conjoined in one house, and that too undergoing the eclipse, certain decisions related to your family, where your possessions, joint assets are involved, property matters are involved, should not be taken during mid-February through mid of March. So, you should wait for some time before you take those decisions. Alright. Keep your character absolutely clean, because in this eclipse, since your 2-8 axis is involved, certain secrets can come out in the open. That could be detrimental towards your well-being, that could be detrimental towards your relationship. Your moon, your 7th lord, is also involved, and your 8th lord, sun, is also involved. So, 7th lord, of course, moon represents your spouse, your relationship, and the 8th house becomes sensitive, whether it could make your relationship or break your relationship. So, the situation, circumstances are complex. This time period will give you high ego, fat ego, as long as you keep yourself grounded, as long as you take the right guidance. Mars is already giving you fiery energies in your Lagna. Saturn is in the 3rd house, moving at a very fast pace. You want to rush through things, and the eclipse energy will make you very impulsive with regards to your financial investment, with regards to your financial decisions. So, please be careful. I do not expect you to take major decisions with regards to your money between mid of February to mid of March. But yes, after that, there is a significant progress that you can happen. Any past investments can reap phenomenal results or benefits during this time. You will have a lot of pressure, external pressure, with regards to either maintaining your status or dealing with different hierarchies. At work, you will deal with complex structures, you could have some authority issues, some authority figures would cause some obstruction, and this is where you have to navigate in order to make the most of the time, because remember, Mars is also Badak Graha for you. It's a lot of obstacles, and during the eclipse, making a transit in your ascendant alone in an exalted state can bring strong opposition and can also trigger temperamental issues which could cause quarrels, fights, arguments. So, consciously, you have to increase your spiritual sadhana, because your 2nd house and 6th house have majority of planets, which is a part of your Arthur trine. So, you will be very goal focused, you will be very work oriented, you will always worry about work, you will always worry about your finances, and you will always worry about what you eat, what you consume. In case you are trying to stop some bad habits for your eating and bring in a significant change, yes, this is an opportunity for you, because something can come to an end for you to make a fresh start. So, any changes in your diet, this is your time, because if you do not do it, then of course it will be too late. Jupiter is favoring you till June for any physical activities, any body related changes that you want to bring in. If you want to lose weight, if you want to get back in shape, things and circumstances could be very favorable for you. You have to continue to strengthen your Yoga Karak Graha Venus, Shukra, he is combust. So at this point in time, thereafter, I would expect you to urge utmost caution and continue to strengthen Venus, continue to worship Goddess Lakshmi. Though I do not expect Venus to be facing deep combustion, but this is where the remedy lies. And since it is sitting in the house that represents your speech, mantra based remedy will be good for you, and Venus is your fifth lord. My friends out there who are Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs, the Lagna or the moon. Physical level, you will see it from the ascendant, mental, emotional from the moon sign. 17th of February, the first solar eclipse of the year is happening. It is that time when things come to an end for fresh beginnings, for new beginnings. This is happening in your Lagna, in the sign of Aquarius itself, in Dhanishta Nakshatra. The predominant energies are of Saturn, Rahu and Mars. A lot of tamasic energies are there. So please stay away from bad company, stay away from bad habits, stay away from negative people for the next 2 to 3 months starting mid of February. This is your time. See, first house, your Lagna, it represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity. It represents your self-image. What do you think about yourself? Before thinking about others, what others think about you, that is seen from the Aruda. That is seen from the placement of your Lord of the Lagna, that is Saturn or Rahu. Based on that we calculate, which is your image and how others feel. But what do you feel about your core identity, about your ego, your brain, intelligence, your decision making? Therefore, first house becomes very important. And when eclipse is happening in your Lagna, there are a number of planets which are involved, which includes your trinal lords, Mercury and Venus. 10th Lord Mars somehow is involved because it is causing a Papkartari Yoga on your ascendant. Your 7th Lord is involved, your 6th Lord is involved. So, of course, a lot is dependent on this eclipse. It is bringing changes in yourself. It is like a personal reset kind of a time period for you. Reset your goals, restart your life, and of course, re-identify your priorities and redo a number of things that you probably want to do. If you've set some goals, you will go through a process of redefining your goals and redefining your identity as well. Identity disruption is the key word. If it is for good, it will bring in a lot of clarity, it will bring in a lot of energy and deep thinking. If your dasha is challenging, then of course it could lead to identity crisis kind of a situation as well, wherein this could be detrimental towards your decision making. Whenever multiple planets are there in the ascendant, it brings confusion. So you will be confused with regards to decision making. I do not expect you to take major decisions between mid of February to mid of March. This is a slightly sensitive phase because the eclipse energies are intense at this point in time. Your Lagna Lord Shani is also involved because it's also causing a Papkartari Yoga on your ascendant. Your level of confidence will be low. Though Venus and Mercury are in a beautiful yoga, Mercury gains directional strength in the Lagna. Sun is the Karak of the Lagna, they are forming a Buddha-Aditya Yoga. So you will unlearn, you will probably move beyond what you've been learning and you will focus on new mechanisms, new methods and innovative approaches towards your own learning. So the ideal situation for you is pick up a course, join some certification or a program wherein you can upskill yourself. 6 out of the 9 planets are making a transit in your Kendra quadrant houses. So the level of confidence is going to be there. Alright, but with confidence, you will be confused. So that is why you will not be able to make decisions. Mercury gains directional strength here, gives you the power of communication, but while conjoined with Sun, who is weak, alright, under affliction. Rahu is strong in Aquarius, but in Lagna, Rahu is not welcome. But here, it is conjoined with Venus, who is a quadrant lord and the trinal house. So if you remedy Venus, you will get best results with regards to this particular eclipse. So either a Durga Homa or a Shakti Homa or worshipping Goddess Lakshmi will be absolutely beneficial for you. Reading Sri Suktam could be highly beneficial during the eclipse. It's just a 5-minute ritual, or any Narayan Vishnu mantra can also potentially be very good for you to channel these energies and try to stay calm during the situation. So spiritual practices are needed, but this eclipse is supporting your Dharma trine. Jupiter is in the 5th house, 5 planets are there in your Lagna. So 6 planets are in the trinal house as well. So this is where you have to build your fundamentals and stick to the Dharma. Jupiter is causing protection on your ascendant. So your health and vitality is improved. Sixth Lord Moon is involved, is in the ascendant but aspected by Jupiter. So Jupiter will protect. You will not have health issues. If you had any health issues, you will see significant improvement, significant development. This is an optimum time for personality shift, personality transformation, and better decision making in life. Also moving away from some toxic people, moving away from some negative energies and negative people permanently. This is something which you must do, and this is where your energies need to be invested. You definitely have a relationship karma as well, because when the 1-7 axis is heavy, it is complex. So there is a tendency of friction. Now the intensity of friction would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha. This is where you can have an understanding approach. Continue to strengthen Venus, which will support your relationship as well, and of course things related to your fortune. You need to do sun related remedy as well. That is essential. Offer water to sun, read Aditya Hridayam, or any mantras related to Surya could also be beneficial. This is where if you have any relationship related challenges, you will see some respite at this time. Mercury is bringing transformation because it is your 8th lord. So of course a number of things and planets are involved. Some decisions, some actions are coming to a permanent closure for you to look after a fresh start, fresh perspective. Your ego could be dominant, so please stay grounded. Otherwise, what will happen is you will argue with people, you will pick up fights, you will try to overpower your knowledge to other people, because Jupiter is aspecting and it is expanding everything, all the significations, leadership, authority, communication, relationship, and friction and impulsiveness as well. So this is where you have to continue some spiritual sadhana in order to channel these energies and look up to Venus during this eclipse. My friends out there who are Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs, the annual solar eclipse, the first of the year 2026, which is happening on 17th of February, which calls for endings and new beginnings. Now, this is happening in your 12th house, Dwadash Bhav. 12th house is the house of expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness. We see secrets from this house. We see your subconscious mind and your subconscious ability, and also spirituality, because this is the moksha bhava. It is the highest moksha trine. 4, 8, 12 are the moksha trine. 4th house has Jupiter, 12th house has these 5 grahas, which include Sun, Mercury, Venus, Rahu and Moon, which means your 4th house and 12th house have the dominant position, which calls for greater intense spiritual practices, spiritual sadhana. Deep spiritual insights can be built over the course of next few weeks, and you can also experience some intuitive breakthroughs. Now, intuition is something which is innate. It is an inborn predisposition. Now, depending on the strength and the placement of your moon, some people are very intuitive. If in case you are, this is a time period to experience some breakthrough experiences from an intuition point of view in your life. Other people will come to you to take advice, because you will develop deep awareness about yourself and of course your surrounding. You will be very well aware in terms of what's happening around you. You have to take care of your health, protect your well-being. Your 6th lord Surya is involved, your 8th lord Venus is involved, which are causing a Viparita Yoga. So a Viparita Yoga is there. Alright, circumstances has to go adverse, eventually you will rise. Between mid of February through mid of April, there could be a couple of hospital visits. So from a karmic standpoint, I advise you visit a hospital, go for a regular health checkup, or keep yourself at check. Just try to understand if everything is good and nothing's wrong there. 12th house represents your feet. Keep your feet clean, walk, exercise, go for a run, and try to be active with regards to your movement. And there is no harm. Even if there is an eclipse and it's not occurring in your region, you can definitely step out. There is no fear. There is no need to worry about those situations, right? Now, this is where your 5th lord Moon is involved, but has gone in the 12th house. Your 4th lord Mercury is involved. Again, the conjunction is happening in the 12th house. So, expect increased expenditure. Venus in 12th house will increase your expenditure. If it is conjoined with Rahu, you would want to either organize a lot of social gatherings with other people, or you would expense on your relationship. In case you're married, you will expense on your relationship. In case you're not, you would want to step into a relationship, and this relationship can become a potential costly affair for you. So you have to be careful with regards to money management. So think about saving and your saving related strategies from now. which can protect you from any increased expenditure. As long as you expend on dharma, it is good. Mars is still supportive of gains because it's making a transit in the 11th house, Ekadash Bhava, exalted, that's your 9th lord, very good yoga. But Saturn is slowing things down. Saturn and Jupiter in Kendra are giving you a sense of confidence. See, Jupiter's aspect, the 9th aspect on all these grahas in your 12th house, is definitely protecting you, protecting your health, avoiding any critical issues, critical illnesses, but it will expand everything related to 12th house, your bed comforts, indulgence and expenditure. So this is where you have to take things in control. Conscious spiritual practices are needed. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a Dwadash Akshari or a 12 syllable mantra which you can chant, and of course this will be very helpful for your spiritual growth, spiritual practice as well. Now certain habits will come to an end. You will step into an emotionally heavy situation. So expect your emotions to be on the rise because you will have to deal with some difficult people, which could be emotionally straining for you. This could be people who hold an authority, or you might have an argument with your partner, with your spouse. And please stay away from any illusion. See, intuition is good, but if you don't have intuitive capabilities, it will lead to illusion, it will lead to maya, it will lead to confusion. If you want to support your finances, avoid spending a lot of money on other people because you would want to socialize, organize social gatherings. Now, yes, if you have an opportunity to move outside of your home country within the next few months, circumstances can become favorable for you. Your 8th lord is in the 12th house, conjoined with your 4th lord. So, 8th lord that represents places which are across the sea, 4th lord that represents your home, 12th house is foreign land, and 3rd lord Venus is also in. Venus becomes 3rd and the 8th lord. So 3rd lord also indicates journeys. Alright. So this is where, and Mars over the course of next few months, between February, March, will also cross the eclipse point right in time, which is your 9th lord. The most favorable time period for you to shift bases, movement of countries. In case you've been trying, this is your time to apply. In case you're already outside, there is a chance, but it will take significant amount of effort. There is a risk as well, but there is a greater chance of you obtaining a permanent residency or some sort of settlement outside of your home country, or you could also take some decision with regards to real estate that you have abroad. Maybe it's not doing well, or it is causing some expense on you, or you may choose to decide either to sell or buy some new real estate which is outside of your home country. A yoga is there as well. Your 12-6 axis is very heavy. Take care of your expenditure, avoid any impulsive buying decisions, and increase your spiritual sadhana. Look up to Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu. So friends, this was a unique and detailed video on the upcoming solar eclipse and its impact on all 12 signs. I hope you liked this video. Once again, eclipses are intense periods, intense energies, very good for spiritual sadhana, very good for manifestation of all kind. I urge you to make the most of these energies and continue to stay connected with me when I bring in more interesting videos for you in future. Thank you very much. God bless you all.